Nigeria in 4FM. Good afternoon to you. It's a sunny Friday afternoon, the last Friday in the month of November 2024. The month officially comes to an end tomorrow. Guess what? I don't know about your area, but in my part of River State, I felt Hamatan. Oh my God, I felt it. Christmas is around the corner, y'all. Maybe that's how people used to say it. My name is Denise Dennis Wallo. How's your mind? How's your body? And of course, how is your soul? We have a really short time allotted to us today, but we'll try to maximize purchasing properties, documentation as a couple. Let us talk about couples and acquisition of properties. Paying particular attention to the documentation of those properties, or as some will call it, the paperwork. And then, of course, we'll try to answer two questions. Should married women buy properties in their husband's names, or in theirs, or in the name of both of them? Or as some people will say, both of them. Is it compulsory for a man to buy properties and include his wife as co-owner, especially when he's not gifting her the said property? Now, why are we having this conversation? I'll tell you. As long as you are very patient with me, I'll walk you through the full story. A certain businesswoman shared how two lawyers tried to discourage her husband from adding her name to the documents when buying properties. So this is as told by the said woman. Her name is Roberta Edu. She said the lawyer, her husband got a lawyer to handle the purchase of a house in Lekki, and the lawyer tried to discourage her husband from adding her name as co-owner. She said the lawyer went as far as giving her husband time to think about it, while also giving reasons why her name should not be included. She added that when her husband tried to buy another property again, which they both contributed towards, he employed the services of another lawyer. And he did the same thing, discouraging the husband from adding the wife's name as co-owner. Even when the husband explained that his wife contributed financially and it's a joint effort. So the wife brought money too to purchase the said property. The lawyer told him that if she's contributing, the husband should only include his name since she isn't involved in the documentation process, and he should tell his wife that whatever is his is also hers. Both lawyers told the husband that if he adds his wife's name to the property document, he won't be able to send her out of the property if they divorce. And she went ahead to urge women to be conscious when investing with their partners to avoid being marginalized. So this is as told by her. This is her exact words. The way women are marginalized in Nigeria, some of you don't even know the extent. That's why anyone will wake up to say we are doing too much for calling it equality. It just doesn't live in the heads of people. It cuts across all sectors of society, even among the learned. An event happened this year that got me really worried. Earlier this year, my husband got a house in Lekki. It was an arrangement from their office. When he wanted to register the papers for the property, the lawyer handling the property asked him to send his name and details. He forwarded my name and his name, and the lawyer went berserk. Who is first name you listed? My husband said, my wife. The lawyer said, we need to see. They met, and the lawyer took time to talk my husband out of adding my name to the property. After all the lecture, my husband told him it was okay and that he should still add my name to the property. He insisted that he wouldn't, and that he would give my husband 2 weeks to think over whatever I added in his soup. To think over whatever I had added in his soup. So it's not normal. For the lawyer to sound this way, it means that no right-thinking man would want his wife's name in property. Moving forward, when I learned about this, I wasn't angry because I thought that he felt maybe since my money wasn't added to this property, that's why he felt this way. I ignored him. Well, he still registered the property with my name first and my husband second. But what was shocking, however, is that later in the year, My husband and I jointly got a property. We jointly paid for this property. I wasn't even in Nigeria, but I trusted him to do the right thing. He called another lawyer for the processing and documentation. This lawyer, like the other one, opposed my husband adding my name to the proper documentation. He cited a lot of things. Do you know if you add her in this document, nothing you can do again? Do you know the risks? Do you know you can't send her out of that property? Do you know even if you divorce, she can get to retain it? My husband was surprised that these lawyers, who are supposed to be on the side of justice, were sounding this way. So my husband told him, you didn't even ask if the property is paid for with my money or my money alone. But you insist that I must remove her name. She's contributing more. Listen to that. She's contributing more to the purchase. The lawyer said, even though she's contributing, you can still put only your name. We're trying to protect you. Don't hide her name, especially since she isn't involved in this documentation process. Just tell her whatever belongs to you belongs to her. No need for alarm. Again, this new lawyer delayed our documentation process until my husband practically got angry and insisted he makes the registration happen. It pains me that I was not in Nigeria, that this particular lawyer, he would have collected. It was at this point that I realized why many women who buy property while married are always cheated. It is why most women will marry a man for 30 years and be chased out with nylon. I like to stop there. She said a lot of things, as well as saying if you're married and your husband has purchased properties while you guys are married, you better check the documents. You deserve to be listed as co-owner even if you're at home taking care of the children. And then, of course, every other thing she said. And now I'm asking. I remember when we had the next of kin conversation on radio. Some husbands clearly stated that their wives are not their next of kin. You remember the time we had that conversation on Chat Station? Even on the sunny side, yes. They'd rather have their child, that is their blood. Some men don't consider their wives as family. Family to them is mother, father, brother, sisters, and their children. The wife that they decided to do life with, that they together created those children or birthed those children, is not family. So she doesn't come first in the scheme of things. It's their children first. Now, do you expect the same woman that you have considered as not a family member to purchase properties in your name or in theirs? As a woman, as a married woman, should married women buy properties in their husband's names or in theirs? Or maybe there's a third option, buy in the name of yourself and your husband. Question number 2. After listening to this woman's story and narrative, in fact, when I read it, I asked myself, you know how they say what God has joined together, let no man put asunder? And it seemed like these lawyers were trying to put asunder in some kind of way. I don't know what they had told the husband specifically, but then again, you know how they say, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Words magnified in the heart and mind of a human being will some way, somehow become their reality. Words are like seeds planted. What if whatever they had said to this man gave him room to doubt his wife for any reason, if he had not been thinking about it for the over how many years they have been together and for the vows that they have made? Wait a concerned lawyer where then say, come help me do documentation with advising husband against doing something he had made up his mind to do initially. So much so that you give him time to think of what you had said. You are not contributing 10 naira to the purchase of the property. Man bought property, gang. And it can go both ways. I mean, it can be a lawyer advising a married woman not to include the husband. All you needed to do was do what you were asked to do, am I right? And then, of course, collect your fee for doing that said job. And then before you know it, you're going over and beyond to convince either the man or the woman that it is wiser if it is just their names on the property. Are lawyers beginning to do things that are not professional? Anyway, Is it compulsory for a man to buy properties and include his wife as co-owner? Are there some properties you buy and then you just say, okay, for this property, me and my wife. For this property, me alone. For this property, I alone. For this property, me alone. Or, as long as you are married, you should be able to include your partner in the scheme of things. Let's talk. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0002. Once again, 0817 923 0002. We also have 0817 923 0003. That is 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030 6416. The digital media informed me that the network is acting up, so for that reason we may not be able to stream. Okay, who knows? Okay, we may not be able to stream live, but then of course we can take calls and read messages. Okonkwo from Rumokuta, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Thank you, my big sister. Yes, the two lawyers that gave those advice, they did that out of their past professional experiences. And I am of the view that as a man or a married man, if you want to buy a property, buy your own, and if she wants to buy her own, she should equally buy her own.
Okay.
I have the document. And I'm also saying it out of my own direct experiences.
Okay.
Are you aware that when a man marries, that the brothers and sisters, even the mother and the father of that man, will be misinterpreted to be witches and wizards by the ladies?
Not all ladies.
It's only her people that would be good to come and visit that family.
Not all ladies, at least. We have some married people.
I've seen millions. I have not seen anyone that has a different character.
I see.
And I'm also concluding by saying that it's a very big risk. You see that you use your children now in the effort of next of kin. Because if not, everything will be taken to her own family.
Okay. So I take exception to that because I'm a married woman and I don't see myself painting my husband's family as black and only my family as good. And I'm sure there are several other women, millions, who do not share that, what's it called now? Zion from Jerry, welcome to the sunny side, Zion. Go ahead.
For the benefit of this discourse, I want to start on this note. I want to appreciate all the couples.
Zion, hold on. Just hold on. We're streaming live. I just got notification that the network is now, the head is correct. So we're streaming live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, on YouTube and on X as well. Go ahead, Zion. Sorry for that.
This square is streaming live. I want to appreciate all the couples, husband and wife, who have decided to uphold the tenets of marriage, especially at this present-day generation.
Zion, you have to hurry up. I have Charles waiting. Charles has been waiting for the past 3 minutes.
In this course, also, but you don't consider me when I wait to.
Go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
You should buy property in the name of husband and wife.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. That is the definition of marriage. And they shall become one flesh. And everything that have a flesh have a soul. So why should I extract or remove my wife's name or my husband's name because I bought a property? Then which means we are never married. Okay. We are only there for a contract. So my dear D-Square, I want to exonerate and appreciate our women, especially our wives, with their money, they bought a property, still put their husband's name there. Mrs. Zion from Port Harcourt.
Thank you, Mrs. Zion. Charles, yeah, so sorry about that, Charles. Once again, Nigeria Info 92.3 page. Go there, watch live. Drop your comments in the comment section as well. I have a message from someone who's watching live. Let me go ahead and read it. Marianne Phillips says, this is some of the challenges women go through on a daily basis. Women are not allowed to inherit land. Women are being downgraded as wicker vessels. Very bad, very wrong. Okay, on WhatsApp, NS from Woji says, it's not about them being lawyers. It's a Nigerian society thing. It happened to us back then. Most of the lands my dad bought back then. I remember very well when I was small, they used to tell my dad, don't bring women to this kind of things. This is not a woman's something. Today, 97% of those properties are gone because he died. Our society has still a long way to go. We are 2,000 years behind the rest of the world. We are educated, but not civilized. Praise God from Igbelu. Hi, praise God. How are you doing?
Okay. I want to give my experience. What I know, and Mr. Praise God, I have this experience. My younger sister got married to him. And when the man died, the property they bought, when the man died, the family came to collect the documents. They stole the documents from the house. Then she was too fast. She went to where she went to government and we do the document with her name and her husband's name. And now the property is with her and the children. The family came to collect everything at first. But she was so fast to go to government and review the paper and put her name and the husband's name. And now the property belongs to her now. So it's advisable that a man should buy documents with his name and the wife's name. If he buys the documents with his own name, he should use his children as the head of king. That's my contribution. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Ida from Nkoro, welcome.
Yeah, Julie, thank you for this topic today. My sister, I just married newly. As I married, I asked my wife, "Can open an account for yourself? I will open my own. I collect salary, I will share it and give you your own. I collect my own." So I've seen what women pass through. That when they lost their husband, the family member of the husband go and inherit everything. Frustrate the woman will not get anything. This is the woman that when the man was alive, the family is enjoying, they are laughing, smiling, but once the man just go out from the way, the family will inherit everything. So we should please love our wives. If we are buying something, buy your wife with her name, buy your own with your name. The one you want to join together. Like the women will not survive with their children. Thank you. God bless my sister.
So that the women will not suffer with their children. Is that the only reason? Yes, the truth is that a lot of widows have complained about this countless times. It may interest you to know that some of these widows acquired these properties before marriage. They bought them. And upon marriage, they said, since two of us are now one, I have so property somewhere. I have this property this way. I have this, I have that. What do we do? And then he says, okay. For some men, keep your properties in your name. For others, okay, let's change the documents. Let's have our both names. And then there's also the mistake some people make. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson can be Mr. Johnson and any woman. So if you were married to Mr. Johnson and you guys part ways, the next wife can still be Mrs. Johnson. So the difference between Mr. and Mrs. Johnson and Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Chinenye Johnson, two different things. So it is Chinenye and Chinenye only, not Mrs., not anybody. Justice from Port Harcourt. Hi, Justice. Welcome to the sunny side.
Hello.
Justice, I'm with you. Welcome.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good
I'm
afternoon.
glad that you could come up with this topic today. Actually, men and women that normally buy property in their names are the ones who have skeletons in their cupboard. Whether in Christian way or traditionally that they got married, if they love each other and understand that their home is their home, there will be no division. They should be open to themselves. And for me, I bought a land. My wife's name was written on the document, not because of fear of family or whatever, but I know that my family will not take away anything from her. But it's just because of what uncertainty. That is why I put her name. So I believe that whatever I have belongs to my wife. Whether I use my children as nest of kings or my wife, anything I have in our family belongs to her. So anybody that is coming there is looking for trouble.
All right.
So whether I'm there or she's not there, everything we have it together.
All right.
God bless you.
Bless you too, Justice. Chief Churchill says, yo, happy Amatan, my brother. Shout out to the great men out there who honor marriage. My wife is me, and I am my wife. Most women carry a lot of things in marriage. Giving birth alone, then nursing a child is no joke. Women deserve a whole lot. That's why the building I am living now is in my wife's name. May God bless all the women out there. Okay? Your wife's name, oh. So if you want to run away with the property, Nko. Good afternoon, Didi. Mr. and Mrs. So is not a name. Anybody can be the Mrs. at a given time. Both names of the husband and wives must be written in full. Sira Barry from Kaduna State, welcome.
Is that my double D?
Yes, it is I. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Fine. I love this topic. You know, we are on 16 days of activism against women, violence against women and girls. And this is part of the violence that women go through in families. You know, violence is not it's only when maybe the lady is beaten up or what she has stood for, what she has believed, what she has labored, prayed to see a man and the family turn a house to a home. And after everything, she is being pushed away. And majority of women of Nigeria has changed their name already to the surname of their husband. So if a woman buys a property and writes her name, it also means she and her husband.
Thank you, Sarah Barham. We're trying to maximize time here. Legacy from HA, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, Denise.
Good afternoon to you.
Okay, so for me, this is not a case of right or wrong. Every man to his own circumstance. My wife is not your wife. Your husband is not my husband. There are peculiarities that make for the uniqueness of marriage. And so I don't know what you would have encountered in the past. Some persons are actually hosted by the ghosts of their past. And it gives them, some traumatic experiences, right?
Okay.
And so you never can tell if this man has been jilted by a woman, if he has been duped by a woman, if he has been, you can't tell if this woman has also been duped by a man. She gave in her everything, bequeathed her bank account, ATM details and all that, and the man just scammed. So you can't tell. And so, like I said, anyone could act and operate in the way that seems fitting to them. Maybe the stories they've heard, maybe the mothers they've known, maybe they are friends and all that, and so people are in some kind of fear or another. So the lawyer asking this man to do this could be reflective of the lawyer's own experiences as well. And the lawyer may not be wrong. But then the man accepting those details or refusing the details is subject to his own circumstances as well. Okay, so he details in her name. And that's fine. Okay, you're not wrong for doing it. If you feel you don't trust your wife as well, or you're feeling any skepticism towards her based on her attitude, maybe your wife is clandestine, she's hideous, she wouldn't even do it to you. Come on, why don't you just also operate with a sense of wisdom? But at the end of the day, whatever the outcome becomes, okay, when you're not there, if your wife is protected, her rights are protected, or otherwise family comes in and takes everything from her, it's also in the detail. So I think we should just prayerfully work with discernment and do what is fitting for us.
All right, thank you so much. We need to go on a commercial break, and when we come back, we round up the conversation. Stay tuned to us.